Bombay. Oh yeah, Jerry, how we sound? Testing 1 2 5. Testing 1 2 5. Ho, hooty hoo, soo. All right, we're good on the test. Welcome everybody to episode 51 of the Swift and SwiftUI Learn Along. I am your host, Enor Oat, and this right here, what you're looking at, is what we've worked through so far. So for the uninitiated, let me give you the quick rundown. This is a stream where you're not watching an expert in Swift teaching you, but rather you're watching somebody with previous experience programming mainly in SQL and Golang, but I've never written a full-fledged full stack application, I'll say. Outside of, I don't really count JavaScript frameworks because they just kind of do it for you. But so that's the lay of the land in terms of the experience. So SQL for about 10 years, I would say, expert level in that. You kind of don't want to brag or nothing, but, and then Golang, some actually pretty light experience, just wrote some ETL programs in that. And now Swift. So the whole premise of this is it's not interactive learning, meaning I'm not, because I have a lot of inspirations that I take into this, into doing the stream. One of which being Soding. I don't know it's Tsoding. If you don't know who this guy is, highly recommend checking out his videos on YouTube. He also live streams, so you can probably find him on Twitch, but yeah, it's spelled Tsoding. And I believe he's not American, but you can understand him just fine. He speaks English, but he does have a bit of an accent. Anyway, check him out because he does some really awesome streams and he's like a wizard. Okay. But anyway, my point is, this is not that kind of stream where he's effectively, already a very expert programmer and he picks and chooses very interesting projects to build. This is more, you're watching somebody carry out raw learning in front of you. And hopefully that resonates. It can be a bit painful, I will admit. But the good thing is this is different in the sense that I am following course material that cannot totally be specified because of fair use and all that. So, but I narrate those teachings in the literature to you, and of course carry out the code samples and the code or the example projects here on screen. So hopefully you feel the same in that it's true to its namesake. It's a learn along because you're learning it along with me, So that being said, we've already worked through an 800-page book on the Swift programming language from I would call it a very thorough overview. And all of those streams, it's roughly 120 hours of content, 45 episodes. Those are all on the YouTube channel, or if you're watching on X, they might be there. A lot of them are probably on Twitch as well. I'll put those tags up at the end of the stream if you want to check those out. But so we've already worked through that. Now we're working through a SwiftUI course. So we just started really the bulk of it yesterday. Episodes 46 through 47 were pretty much a throwaway because I tried out a course. We got a little bit of ways into it, and it wasn't resonating. So I switched over to a new one. We started that yesterday, and that's what we're going to continue on today. Now, the general. All right, where was I? So after we work through this SwiftUI course, we'll do some API design and SQL schema design for the application that I want to build for my company. And then after that, we're going to go back into, actually, that's not true. This is going to be the last book. Yeah, because I'm confusing myself here. I had an initial plan where we were going to do SwiftUI and then iOS programming. Instead, the course that I started yesterday on this stream tackles both of those. So really, this will be the last book. And throughout the course of going through this book, we're going to build 3 applications according to the course material. And their assertion is by that point, we should know enough to do some real damage and start building the real product. And so that is the goal. So after we're done doing this, then we'll just start building MRP Panda, which is going to be my first product for my startup, me and wifey. So that should be fun. Should be. No, it really has been. I am pleased as a pickle with my language choice, going all in on Swift. It's a pretty impressive language. There's a lot to it for sure, and Apple's APIs are ever growing. But you know, I kind of feel like that's the case no matter where you go. I've poked around at a lot of languages. So like I said, heavy industry use of SQL and Golang, and then in my personal project type stuff, you know, a lot more JavaScript and Erlang, Elixir, OCaml, Clojure. Never touched Kotlin, oddly enough. But yeah, all in all, I gotta say I'm very impressed with the package that Swift brings. So with all that being said, if that sounds cool, follow along. If not, get the hell out. All right, so now we can just hop right back to where we were yesterday. Now, I kind of had, before I started late today, no excuses, I understand. I think I'm gonna just push the time back to noon, but either way, I've had a lot of issues with Xcode, I gotta admit. And I've closed down the bulk of all the apps running in the background, and for whatever reason, it just, I don't know, it just seems to need a full bore like machine restart anytime that it sits for more than an hour or two. And I am not sure why, but that's just IDE life, I guess. But aside from that, things have been decently smooth sailing in terms of gaining an understanding. But yeah, that's just more so cathartic for me to say. It doesn't really mean anything. All right, so let's get started. So we left off yesterday with our app in this state, and so they were showing us different ways to create views on the app itself. And so we got this cool little, I'm sure you guys have seen these in applications that you use yourself. I certainly have. So this little indexed view here on the little dots, pretty cool. They also showed us how to make the little tabs. Where was the you know, along the, like with labels. So you see this text over here, welcome, exercise 1, exercise 2. Those were initially tabs down here. Instead of these little dots, it was, you know, tab, 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 which was cool. And then they showed us this, which is a cleaner look, although you don't, obviously you can't see the name of the exercise, right? So anyway, that's what we covered. And then landed ultimately on this little, I guess they call it, what do they call it? Index view style, yeah. Anyhow, let's continue. Okay. Yeah, and I've had a lot of issues with the live preview thing, but I think I got it sorted now. I didn't like the Xcode lets you, let me show you this, just show you this real quick, just to share the pain. So in Xcode, I come from a world of Sublime, by the way, so that's been my go-to for a long time. Xcode has a lot of really cool things that I really like that we've seen. A debugger, a lot of graphical, you know, visuals that you can use to quickly see performance and all that, but we'll dig into that later, so I won't talk too much about it. But I just want to point out that although it lets you customize the key bindings seemingly to your heart's content, thus far the only thing that I've been able to customize, at least they break it out for you, so that's nice. So it shows you the ones that you have customized are these. So just switching tabs, and I don't even know, why is that one? I didn't custom. Oh, I just removed some of the extras. But yeah, so literally just the switching tabs. Everything else, like I tried to change switching off the canvas because it's this funky command option enter. Why they chose such a difficult, you know, whatever. But nothing else works other than the default thing. It'll let you change it, but then it just won't work. So I don't know. That's a bit frustrating, but all right. So now bitching out of the way, we can get to it. Oh, but here you go. Let me just look up here. That's what the tabs look like initially, right down here too. Yeah. So we've covered that, and now let's get cracking. Oh, and if you're watching on Instagram, by the way, yeah, obviously you can only see Xcode, so you should go watch on X, brother. Why not? I know you got it. All right, so interacting with live preview. The selectable mode of the preview canvas lets you edit views in the canvas, but at this point, you probably want to see it in action. It's time to switch back to live preview. Oh, wait a hot minute. Okay, we were through this page because this is what we got. The dot always background display mode dot always. Yeah, right here. Okay. Let me, that's better. Just a hair. Nah, that's good. Never mind. Okay, so that's where we're at. So let me hop over. In live preview, just swipe left or right, and each page snaps into place. So they're just showing us that we can swipe here. So I'm just holding down the cursor. Yep. Okay. Oh, and just one more thing. In case some of this stuff seems redundant or overly simplistic, just know that, I mean, this book was designed for folks that are not familiar at all with writing applications. So it'll probably be this kind of hand-holding. And I know a lot of it seems overly simple because we've already covered, for anyone that's been following the whole time, we've already covered a lot of the stuff that they're showing us now lightly in the Big Nerd Range guide that we went through. So it should pick up maybe in a chapter or two, but yeah, that's, if you're wondering why, that's why. Okay, you won't be using tab items for, oh wait, we did that part too. Okay, this is it. All right, okay, you've set up the paging behavior, but you want the pages to be actual welcome and exercise views, not just text. To keep your code organized and easy to read, you'll create each view on its own file, in its own file. So scorch that a little bit. To keep your code organized and easy to read, you'll create each view in its own file and group all the view files in a folder. Grouping files, skills you'll learn in this section. Creating and grouping project files. Okay. You're about to create welcome and exercise subviews by combining smaller subviews. Oops, sorry. All right. SwiftUI encourages you to create reusable subviews for the same reason you create functions. Don't repeat yourself. All right. Even if you don't reuse a subview, it makes your code much easier to read. Even if you don't reuse it. Okay. And SwiftUI compiles subviews into efficient machine code, so you can create all the subviews you need and not worry about performance. That's nice. Select content view.swift in the project navigator. Okay. Leg is itching. All right. Select content view.swift in the project navigator. Okay. If I could just scoot you over one more hair there, brother. All right, there we go. Create a new SwiftUI view file named welcome-view.swift. Then create another new SwiftUI view file named exercise view. All right. So control N was it? SwiftUI view file is already selected. Enter. And name it content view. Okay. In the group. And they told us by default that groups, or it'll automatically create, Xcode rather, will automatically create groups based off your project directories, but they don't have to be that. That's just the default. But you can group your files however you want. Okay, so create content Swift already exists. That's true, it does. Why are you... Oh, yeah, I'm a dummy. Okay, my bad. Welcome view, not content view. welcome, if I can spell welcome view. Yeah. And then may I have another? Okay, and then we need a view exercise view. Okay. And of course, we're doing the whole capitalizing the first letter of each word by convention, as we're told. It is good practice to keep one type per source code file, and not only that, also the type. So in this case, this struct here should also match the name of the source code file. So that's the convention, but it's not a requirement by any stretch. Now, what I do think is interesting is how I just created this file, right? Where did all these comments come from? I mean, I know what it's from because this is from the course, but how did it know to add that? That's interesting. It must be, oh, never mind. This was a starter that I downloaded from there. Okay, so I'm sure it's somewhere. But yeah, it's less interesting of a problem now. Okay, so I just remembered that. All right, so your project navigator now contains 3 files. More than that. Yeah. Oh, 3 view files, my bad. Okay, yeah, that's true. Content view, welcome view, exercise view. Okay. You'll create several more view files. So now you'll create a group folder with these 3 and name it views. Select the 3 view files. Okay, hold control and tap that bad boy right there and that one right there. And then what? Right click, select new group. Okay. Right click. From selection makes sense. Oh yeah. Name the group views. Okay, now we're talking. All right. Cannot preview in this file. Why the hell not? Refresh. Okay. Group folders just help you organize all the files in your projects. In Chapter 4, Prototyping Supplementary Views, you'll create a folder for your app's data models. Okay. I assumed I just have to reopen this and then it should work again. Okay, cool. Yeah. Worried me for a second there. Passing parameters. Passing parameters. Skills you'll learn in this section. Default initializers, arrays, let var int, method parameters, fix button and error messages, placeholders, and auto completions. Yeah, so we'll try to speed through this because this is all stuff that we've encountered before with the other book. But the unfortunate part of learning in this way is, you know, if you miss a step, it's not as easy to go back and figure that out. So it's better to just go through it. I've learned instead of suffering. Now in content view, tab. Why does it do that? Boy, this thing is so odd sometimes. Like it's moving. I'm not pressing anything other than control. Okay, weird. All right, so let's just go there manually. How do I open that menu though? Control 1? Control 0? No. Or Command 1? There we go. Command 0? Okay. All right. Now in content view, replace the first 2 text placeholders with your new views. Okay. Makes sense. So get rid of text. And this one. Welcome view. And exercise view. Okay. Swift tip. A view is a structure. I really want you to stay that skinny, brother. If you just stay just like that. All right, cool. Okay, so what are they saying here? A view is a structure. Okay. Shortened to struct in Swift code. Like a class, it is a complex data type that encapsulates properties and methods. The property being the body in this case. We don't have any specific methods, but we do know that underneath, well, both view, tab view, body, actually all of these, as part of SwiftUI, the framework, there's a ton of methods, which that's what these are, these dot notations. So just like we covered normal methods in Swift proper, SwiftUI refers to methods relative to the SwiftUI framework as modifiers. So they will call these methods modifiers. All right, Swift tip. A view is a structure shortened to struct in Swift code. Like a class, it is a complex data type that encapsulates properties and methods. If a view has no uninitialized properties, you can create an instance of it with its default initializer. If a view has no uninitialized. Okay. For example, welcome view creates an instance of welcome view. I would like to ask Gemini a question here. I'd like to know what they mean by that exactly, just so I can put it in my brain the right way. So what is, let's see, given the below excerpt on SwiftUI, what is meant by no uninitialized? I assume it means as long as you can run it with no arguments and nothing will come out to nil, so everything will have a value, but I just want to be sure. Yeah, okay, that's what they meant. So it just provided everything can effectively every property already has some method to define its starting value, then you can just call it without arguments, with these empty parentheses, just like this. But if it requires that you give it a variable, then you can't use the default initializer, which we learned that in Swift, the compiler just in the background, if you don't define a custom initializer inside inside your type, then the compiler will give you one. So if you don't have an init inside your type, then the compiler will just look at each property and in the background create one for you whenever you call it. Okay, so okay, now in content, okay, we did that. Now what? Your app will use exercise view to display the name and video for several different exercises. So you need a way to index this data and pass each index to exercise view. Your app will use exercise view to display the name and video. So you need a way to index this data. Trying not to yawn, and pass each index to exercise view. Okay. Actually, first you need some sample exercise data. In the videos folder, you'll find 4 videos. Okay, which we see them here. Clidio. All right, well, Where to? No, if you prefer to use your own videos, drag them from Finder into the project navigator. Be sure to check the add targets checkbox. I'm good with your videos. Thanks for the offer though. Destination. Oh, it's just showing if you want to add your own. Okay. In chapter 3, prototyping the main view, you'll create an exercise data type, but for this prototype, an exercise view.swift. So let's go there. Yeah. Okay. Simply create 2 arrays at the top of exercise view. At the top of exercise view. Oh, I see. Okay. Then video names equal this array of stuff. Step up. Why does it look like that? Step up. Oh, I didn't close that here. And burpee. Sun salute. Sun salute. All right. And let exercise names equal squat. Step up. Burpee and sun salute. Okay. Swift tip. An array is an ordered collection of primitive types, structure instances, or class objects. All items in an array are the same type. Right. Yeah, in this case, string, which we know through, or Swift knows through type inference, but we could also just do, or wait, not that, but we could do this string. If we wanted to be real explicit about it, brother. But we'll follow their example for now, although I would, in my opinion, it's just better because we did learn, just as a quick interesting aside, we did learn that there are some scenarios where type inference has to make some decisions about how to optimize your code if there just happens to be certain instances where it can't necessarily accurately infer certain things, and so you can more or less help it out by being detailed everywhere that you possibly can and explicitly giving types, although you don't have to. But I mean, on that fact alone, and I just think it's actually more readable if you just put the types there. I mean, if you're writing something, you should probably know what the types are, or use an opaque type. So I mean, Swift really gives you the tools, so I don't really see a reason to not have them there, honestly. I mean, how much time are you really saving, you know? All right, the video matches the names of the video files. The exercise names are visible to your users, so you use title capitalization and spaces. Still inside exercise view, that's not what I wanted to do. How do I? Okay, books, Xcode. Why would it switch here though? Obviously I'm trying to get just to the, there we go, okay. Still an exercise view above var body, add this property. Okay, let index yeah, so this would be an example of a uninitialized value. So in this case, we wouldn't be able to just run. Yeah, you see it gave us that error now because we got to be able to pass in whatever the index is. Okay, you declare a constant integer named index. Swift tip. Swift distinguishes between creating constants with let and creating variables with var. Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised by this, although I guess maybe that's a nod to some of the more functional languages like OCaml uses let. Actually, that's all it uses, but yeah, I mean, they do it a little bit differently, but yeah, I would have expected const, oops, like in JavaScript, because they honestly use so many other things from JavaScript, but whatever, doesn't matter. It's just something that you have to understand. So you declare a constant integer named index. Xcode now complains about exercise view, which is down here, line 48, that we're missing an argument because it is missing the index parameter. Click the red error icon to display more information. Okay, clicked it, and we get that same info. Missing argument for parameter index and call. Insert index. Fix. Sure. Nice. Okay. Xcode often suggests one or more ways to fix an error. Many times its suggestion is correct, and this is one of those times. Click fix to let Xcode fill in the index parameter. Now there's a placeholder for the index value, a grayed out int. Click it to turn it blue and type O. Oh, wait, that's a 0? Come on now. What? Okay, 0, not O. I guess that makes sense though, because O is not an integer, but 0 sure is. There we go. And now we have this code, which is true. That is what we have. Swift tip, like other languages descended from the C programming language, Swift arrays start counting from 0, not 1. Yeah, so it's 0 indexed. Yep. Why? Hey, ask them old heads that did it this way, but now apparently we're stuck with it. So now use your index property to display the correct name for each exercise. Change the hello world placeholder to the exercise name for this index value. Change the hello world placeholder. All right. And to the exercise name for this index. So in the body, we're saying exercise names, which is our array that we built up there. And we want the index, specific index from that array. All right. The canvas has been complaining. It failed to build the scheme. And back in content-view.swift, Xcode is also complaining about the missing argument for parameter index in the call to exercise view. Fix this error the same way. All right, so here, index wait, what? Oh. Okay. Now there's a placeholder for the index value. What should you type there? I don't know. Skills you'll learn. Now, so we're moving on into looping, apparently. Skills you'll learn in this section. For each range, developer documentation, initializers with parameters, running apps on an iOS device. Okay. All right. Well, you could pass the first array index, which is what I put there. Then copy, paste, and edit to specify the other 3 exercises, but there's a better way. You're probably itching to use a loop. Here's how you scratch that itch. Okay. Replace the second and third lines in the tab view closure with this code. In the tab view closure. Okay, which is line 7. Replace the second and third lines with that thingamabob. All right. So get rid of that and that. Actually, let me just Damn it. I'm trying to get in the habit of using the Vim shortcuts, but okay, so how do I select? And then end of line. And then I just want to comment. Okay, great. And then, yeah, here we go. Now for each. And then we have this sweet little range syntax that Swift gives us. I remember this. I really like this. So for each index that is between 0 and less than 4 is what we're saying. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So 4 indi? How do you 4 indices? I think it's indices. Indi would be much cooler though. All right, and so now in the trailing closure syntax, which is what we're writing now, so we know that in a trailing closure, effectively the first word that you type is your argument, kind of like an iterator, or how we define the iterators. Instead, this is so index would represent either 0, 1, 2, or 3 per the arguments. So that's just our, I guess our, I don't know if you call that an iterator still. Maybe you do, but either way, that is the vehicle that'll hold either 0, 1, 2, or 3 in this case, based off this closure. The end keyword separates the argument from the body of the function, and then we want exercise view index. What's the problem, brother? Exercise view index in. It's weird having it all squished. What the flip? What's wrong with that? Why? What's going on here? Number in. Wait. You could pass, then copy and paste. Okay, replace the second and third lines in the tab view closure with this code for each. Okay, I'm going to break the cardinal rule. I guess I'm not breaking the rule, but I try more than anything not to copy paste from the material because you just, I don't know. I've done that a lot and I just don't learn anything. I don't know what it is about typing in, even though you're really just mimicking, but it helps for sure. But in this case, when stuff doesn't pan out, sometimes you just gotta to keep it moving. And then of course it brings in all this bullshit text. Okay, it took that. I don't know what difference that is. Maybe I think it does care about the whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, but that's what we're looking at. So for each through this range, I guess I don't need this open. That's better. Okay, for each 0, 1, 2, 3. Here's our bucket, and then here's the logic. So we're passing 0 into the exercise view as the index, and then 1, and then 2, and then 3. All right, and then let's see. For each loops over the range 0 to 4, but because of that less than symbol here, God damn it, come on, double, there you go. Because the less than symbol, not including 4. Right, yeah, okay. The local variable name index is up to you. You could write this code instead. Oh, yeah, yeah. So the iterator name could be anything. Could be booty. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's like I said, it's just the vehicle for the value for the values that you're working with as arguments, which in this case would be 0, 1, 2, or 3. But this is a professional stream, so we won't use booty. All right, but I can't promise I won't in the future though. Developer documentation. This is a good opportunity to check out Xcode's built-in documentation. Hold down the Option key, then click for each. Yeah, this is cool, although we've beat the hell out of this dead horse, but it's good to look at for sure. So if you ever need a definition of a particular symbol, just control click and it'll call this up. And this is the same documentation as if you were to go to the help and dev docs. So it's just a quick way to get it. This is really nice. Okay, for each, a structure that computes views on demand from an underlying collection of identified data. Yeah, this is cool because this I'll use a lot. That's very convenient. So you can just store all your, or you can keep all your data separate in arrays or collections, whatever construct you want to use, and then just loop over them with the for each. And yeah, that's awesome. Overview, use for each to provide views based on a random access collection of some data type. Either the collection's elements must conform to identifiable, which is a protocol, or you need to provide an ID parameter to the for each initializer. Yeah. The following example creates a named font type that conforms to identifiable. Okay, so these are the requirements of identifiable. You need 2 constants, 1 variable, so a name type string, constant font type font, and then a mutable variable of ID with a string type. And this is a computed property, I believe. So it would just pull in whatever you pass into the name as the identifier as well. Okay. You are viewing Xcode's pop-up quick help for the for each keyword. You can also view this information in the quick help inspector. To see more detailed info, scroll down to the bottom of the quick help text, click open in developer doc, then scroll down to the topics section. Okay, let me do that again then. Down to the bottom. Oh, that's cool. Open in dev docs. And then scroll down to the topic section. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, see, I didn't realize, I always made a very foolish assumption that the bulk of what I would need is here, but in reality, this is actually, I think, where I should be looking because, well, I mean, it's really both, but these down here are actually going to show you how you can interact with it in the code. Like, these are different ways you could call it. All of these are initializers that you can use. Now, we haven't touched any of this binding to C functions and whatnot. I'm sure we'll get there, but yeah, if you happen to notice a lot of that, don't worry, we haven't even touched that yet. But I do want to, just as a quick aside, after we get through this book, I think, and do some of the API design and SQL schema design, maybe do like a week of just learning C. I think it would just be a good exercise to do. I briefly started a course on it, I don't know, a couple months back, and then I kind of let it slide. But yeah, I want to finish that out. And mainly the thing is, like, I'm just trying to be realistic here, but if I'm going to be working in Xcode, for the most part, it would be nice to just use, languages that are natively supported by Xcode, and C is one of those languages. So Yeah, I think we will definitely do that. And we'll mix in some Odin too. I wish Odin had I can't find anything other than the like other YouTube videos, which I don't. This might sound ironic, but I don't like watching videos to videos to learn. I used to, but after a while I need it to be a little more. I need to be able to adjust the pace. But that is not necessarily self-serving to say on a stream where I'm creating exactly that content, but it is what it is. We're all at different stages. So for a time it was useful, but yeah, if I could find a book on Odin, then we'll do Odin, but otherwise it'll be C. Okay, so where are we? C. To see more detailed info, okay, yeah, so we looked at the topics, and the topic creating a collection from range contains the initializer you're using to loop over the array. Okay, so let me go back. My bad. I got caught up there, but I do want to see that. So, okay, so dev docs, go down to topics and look for creating a collection from a range. Creating a collection from a range. Can I can. Creating a collection from a range. Okay, so this is what we're using right here. Now the real question is, can this dev docs be used in dark mode? That's the real question. Okay, maybe not. Well, oh well. Let's see, init range contains the initializer you are using to loop over the array indices. So when we pass, or when we call the initializer, we have to give it range, which is that's a generic, so an integer for that one, which that makes sense. That's what we gave it. And content, which takes a closure. So this is what a closure looks like if it's being used in this context where it's actually a function that takes another function as an argument. So that's what we're looking at. So it's a function that takes an integer and returns content. Okay. Creates an instance that computes views on demand over a given constant range. So it loops over the range 0 through 3 in our case. And for each element returns a view. Okay. Available when data is range, int. ID is int. And content conforms to view. Okay. Let's see. This for each initializer requires range. Click this line to open the init content page. Then click range in its declaration to open the range page. Huh? Requires range integer. Click this line. Oh, click the, okay. Yeah. To open the init content. Then click range in its declaration. To open the range page. What? Where do you see that? Range? Here? No. Oh, you can click in the, okay. Wow. Okay, so click range. There we go. Range, a half open interval from a lower bound up to, but not including, an upper bound. A half open interval from a lower bound up to, but not including, an upper bound. Struct range, it's a generic, so it just takes some concrete type, bound, where bound conforms to the comparable protocol. Okay. Range is a half open interval from a lower bound up to, but not including, an upper bound. And you create a range instance by using the half open range operator, which is what you did in the for each argument. Yeah. Close the documentation window. Okay, got it. Boom. You won't need the tab view index dots. Open content view and change some of that code. Okay, so we gotta, where'd you go? Content view. And what? Why am I? Man. I think it's these hands get so clammy. It's these stupid pads, I think. That's kind of scared to take them off, but I think that's probably why. Let's just try it. If I regret it, I can get some more maybe. That might be better. My Hella Ergo keyboard. All right, sorry. I just have to see what the deal is with that. Hopefully that helps. Because it's only when I'm typing. I don't ever have clammy hands. Then I get over here and I feel like a nerd getting kissed for the first time. So my hands are so damn sweaty, but fuck, now it's sticky. Whatever, I'll just deal with it. Okay, so no, I won't. I'm gonna put them back. It was a bad call, just a straight up bad call. I'll have to put some whatever that stuff is that removes sticky stuff. Pause. Okay. All right, init range. Where are we? Okay, so we're getting rid of tab view style and the index view style. So all of that. Okay. Change it to tab view style. Page tab view style. A lot of nesting going on. Page tab view style. Index display mode. At least the autocomplete doesn't cheat you, so it's doing its job for sure. Dot never. Okay, what did that do? Failed to build. Okay. All right, so now you'll never show the index dots. Okay. Xcode tip. This is a good place to commit the changes you've made to your project into your local Git repository. Select source control, commit, or press Command Option C. If asked, check all the change files, enter a commit message. Okay, so I guess that I can send this up to my GitHub. I did connect it earlier, so Command Option C. Cool. If asked, check all the changed files. Check them all. Okay, well, I guess it doesn't matter because it didn't ask. I'm used to using Git just through the terminal, so it's a lot going on here. Set up paging tab view, Vife view. Okay. Then click commit. Commit. Okay. and click it. You're still in content view, so live preview your app. Swipe from one page to the next to see the different exercise names. Well, it's not working. Cannot find index in scope. Oh. In content view. Okay, so what did I miss? Jack something up. Dot never. Where did we... Not that. Wait, what's the problem? Is that why? Oh, that was why. Okay. Yeah, those darn capitalization. Okay, so yeah, you see that a lot in it. I mean, that's at this point, I should know better. So I'm not bitching at the code necessarily or the way that they're doing it, but yeah, there's a lot of redundancy in the sense that you'll often have a type and then, you know, a variable of the same name, with the only difference being, at least syntactically, the capitalization of the first letter. So you just got to watch out for that. But okay, so now that's working. And where was go back. All right, now we'll never show the dots. So now the dots are gone. And if I look, oh wait, I can no longer pan across. Why not? Okay, so we did the commit. You're still in content view. Oh, now we are. Okay, content view. Okay, now I can drag. All right, sweet. Okay, so what's going on here? This is coming from our exercise list, squat, step up, burpee. Or no, it's the squat, step up, burpee, and sun salute. Okay. Although, so squat, step up, burpee, sun salute. Where is... Oh, right here. So I guess this is still in the main body, so it's still... Okay, it's grabbing all of it, because the tab view is wrapping our loop and this additional text right here. Okay, so that's why it's there. Makes sense. Let's see if that's what they got. Hello world, and maybe I deleted the wrong thing, but we do have the same number. They have hello world left over. I have exercise 2, but easy enough. I'm sure we're gonna get rid of it. So note this book's apps expect your iOS device is running iOS 16. Oh, brother, you're way behind. What am I on? You know what's fucking annoying while I check this quickly? I mean, who asked for AI in all this shit? I mean, Apple just announced their version of Microsoft's recall. You know, but naturally they're a lot more judicious about how they presented it, so they're not going to get, you know, anywhere near the backlash. But it's the same fucking thing. I'm like, why? But that really does suck. So I guess that pretty much kills the idea of using well, I'll just never go full-time like Mac OS is basically what it means. It'll just be continue to always be just a means to an end in terms of development, but not my go-to. And if Windows really does get that bad, I'll just fall over to Linux, and then Windows can just be what I run games on, and all the personal shit will be on Linux. But yeah, whatever. We probably have, you know, a solid 2 years before it's something we can't escape. As much of a non-upside as that is. Okay, iOS 17.5.1 is what we're on, so that should be fine. Live preview is a convenient way to see what your app looks like and give you some idea of how it behaves. But some features don't work in live preview, so then you need to build and run your app on a simulator. If your app doesn't look or behave quite right on the simulated device, running it on a real device is the final word. It might look just as you expect, or it might agree with the preview and simulator that you've got. Wait. Or it might agree with the preview and simulator that you've got more work to do. Okay, I see. Also, there are features like motion and camera that you can't test in a simulator. For these, you must install your app on a real device. Plus, it is fun to have something on your iPhone that you built yourself, enabling developer mode on your iOS device. First, you must enable developer mode on your iOS device, introduced in iOS 16 and watchOS 9. Developer mode protects people from inadvertently installing potentially harmful software on their devices and reduces attack vectors. Okay. So I see where this is going. So I'm pretty sure that's already on, but because I was jacking around with the scripting, those little scripting apps, developer, devel. Okay, that's not really developer. Device management. Okay, well, fuck me then. All right, so first you must enable developer mode on your iOS device. Open the settings app and tap privacy and security. Okay. I'm not sure where the search went south, but it used to just like work perfect. Now I type developer, I get a bunch of stuff, but I don't get developer mode, but somehow I can navigate straight there. I don't get it. It used to be so good. All right, so privacy security, scroll down and tap developer mode. Son of a bitch, man. What is the point of moving everything every fucking release? Like, it is not in that spot. Developer mode. I guess I can ask instead of bullshit. Where is dev mode on iOS 17? Bro, it's not. If you don't see developer mode option, it might be because you haven't connected your iPhone to Xcode on your Mac yet. Okay, yeah. They left that part out, didn't they? Okay. You must enable, yeah. And scroll down. Developer mode. So they tell you after the fact, but apparently you need to do it beforehand. Maybe it was different back then. All right, let me plug that in. Hold on. On the road. Trust. 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 All right. Let's see if it does the job. Does the job, you know. Privacy security. Still not fucking there. I get some fucking bootleg version. Where the fuck is it, man? God damn, this is. Tap the restart. Tap turn on. Run apps from Xcode. Connect your device to your Mac with a cable. Use an Apple cable, as other brand cables might not work for this purpose. If that's the reason I don't see it, because it did ask me to trust it, but it's not an Apple cable. Because they're fucking 2 feet long, so I got to get a third-party one that's longer. This is pissing me off. Okay, I'll be right back. I think I have a... Why did I get the 14? That's what I'm really... I should have just fucking waited. 15 got USB-C, right? I got this old... All right. Hold on. All right. So now I get a prompt. So it looks like hopefully that was the reason. Trust. Privacy. Haha, okay, that's fucking stupid, bro. Okay, whatever, but okay, so there it is. And it's restarting. It's my own fault, though. I don't know what else I really expected. Obviously, they're going to make you use something proprietary for the proprietary software. Yep. And, yep, turn it on, brother. Okay. Tap turn on. Okay, we did all that. Yeah, so I had to use an Apple cable indeed. And then it was in the menu like they said. And I had to restart, and now we're all good. Connect your device to your Mac with a cable. Okay, we did. Yeah. Yep. Select your device from the run destination menu. It appears near the top. Oh, okay. All right. That one. Copying shared cache symbols from Nico's Mini 2. Why is it named that? That was the name of my iPad Mini. Oh, I probably restored from, yeah, who fucking knows. Okay, but it's still doing something up there. Getting a signing certificate. Apple does its best to protect its users from malicious apps. Part of this protection is ensuring Apple knows who is responsible for every app on your device. Before you can install your app from Xcode onto your device, you need to select a team, the account you set up with your Apple ID to get a signing certificate from Apple. No, the apps in this book have starter projects with, okay, I can't read that out loud, but if you want to run these apps on an iOS device, you need to personalize the, yeah, so I'll just show you guys because I did this earlier, and it won't make much sense otherwise. So you just go to settings and accounts and just add your Apple developer ID. So if you don't know, you have to pay it's $100 a year for, I don't know what they call it, the Apple developer license, I guess, but that's the cost. So there is some cost to it. But this is where, and I don't know that you have to, I actually don't know if you have to pay if you're just doing dev stuff. You might not have to, so don't take, actually, let's just ask Gemini real quick because I don't want to confuse folks. Do you have to pay $100 or whatever? Do you have to pay for the Apple dev license in order to do local dev work on your own device? Okay, cool. So you don't have to pay. Let's see. However, there are limitations without a paid membership distribution. So you can't publish your apps, but so I mean that makes sense. Advanced features, certain capabilities like CloudKit or in-app purchases require a paid membership to access and test. Okay. And prolonged testing, free provisioning files, which allow your app to run on a device, expire after a week, requiring you to rebuild and redeploy your app. Oh, I see. Okay. So if you don't pay, I guess that might be the only, but that's, I don't know. It can't take that long. Once a week. If you don't want to throw down the 100, that's probably be the only thing that would actually slow you down, but not by very much anyway. But yeah, so I came here, you log in, and then when you go to, what was it? Locations? No. I guess it doesn't show you the menu again, but it's self-explanatory. But if you don't know what it looks like, it's like 2 steps, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, you just gotta connect your account, and you do not have to pay. All right. After some activity spinning, you'll see a provisioning profile. Wait, how did they get there? And that is under automatically. In the project page, select target. Oh, that's right. I can show you. Okay. Yeah. All right. So here. There we go. And no, that's not. It's somewhere in here though. Where does it go? Use release. There we go. Okay, under targets, click on targets. The name of the project in this case, and then signing and capabilities. Yeah, okay, this is where you do it. So check the box. This will be your team name, which is just when you create your account, that's where it comes from. So it doesn't need to be anything specific other than what you want it to be. And then the bundle identifier. So they recommend doing it, like in my case, my LLC and the domain name are the same, so nodtech.systems. And so what they suggest is doing the reverse domain. So in my case, that's systems.nodtech and then dot the project name. But really, it just has to be up until the point where you're ready to publish your app. It just needs to be unique. So that doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't impact behavior of the app at all. Okay, but that's where you go to. So just go to click on the targets dealing, not the project, but targets. Okay, so is it done doing? Oh, I thought I was waiting on it. Okay, next, check automatically manage signing. All right, we did that. Unlock your device, build and run. We did that. If your account is a paid Apple developer account, you won't need to do this step. Running your app on your device will just work. Okay, after some activity spinning, you'll see a provisioning profile and a signing certificate. Xcode has created these and stored the certificate in your Mac's keychain. Unlocking your device. Oh, unlock your device, then build and run your project. Oh, so you're saying hit fit somewhere? Like hell it is, brother. Where is it at? If this is the first time you're running the app on this device, Apple makes you perform one more step to make sure nothing nasty installs itself. Maybe I just gotta hit the play button because it didn't try any of that for me. Okay, there it goes. Installing. Oh shit, it just worked. All right. All right, that's pretty cool. I got a programming boner right now. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so now what? It's on the device. Next automatic manage. Okay, we got that. So this is just more troubleshooting if it's not working, but mine is, so I'm gonna gladly just skip right over all that. Close settings and tap the hit fit icon. If your, oh, here's a note. If your device uses dark mode, the background and text will have a different color. Okay, it's not. The app doesn't actually look or behave any different to live preview, but you're now all set up to run your own projects on this device when you really want to get something running right away. You won't have to stop and deal with any of this trust business. Well, that's nice, as long as it's a one and done. That's appreciated. After you disconnect your device from your Mac, select a simulator device in the Run Destination menu. Otherwise, if it is stuck on any iOS device, you won't see anything in the preview canvas. Oh, that's why I wasn't. Damn, all right. Well, that's good to know. So that answers my question, my issues earlier that I was bitching about. All right, so key points in terms of what we just covered. Plan your app by listing what the user will see and what the app will do. Build your app with views and subviews, customized with modifiers. The canvas and code editor are always in sync, so changes you make in one also appear in the other, referring to this little, oops. So when I click it over here, it gets highlighted wherever it is in the code and vice versa. And you can also use the, which one is it? Where did it go? Oh, there it is, yeah. So you can also edit the code in this little inspector, and that'll also update the source code. So you can use either place, whatever you prefer. I prefer just to write it in the code. I think it's easier. All right, lay out multiple views vertically in a V stack or horizontally in an H stack. I guess I could. Okay, so these are our talking points. The attributes inspector helps you to modify a view or a preview. That's what we just looked at. For each lets you loop over a half open range of numbers, and the tab view can behave like a tab view or like a page controller with the little dots like we saw. Okay, straightforward enough. Oh wait, we got three more things we covered. So preview has two modes: selectable, which is that little blue square with a cursor inside it. So you can literally select things true to its namesake. Selectable lets you edit the view in the canvas. Live preview lets you interact with controls in the view. To run your app on an iOS device, you must enable dev mode. Yeah, we just went through that. And the first time you run your project on an iOS device, Apple requires you to complete a trust step. Okay, yeah. All right, now we're good there. Okay. Where to go from here? You've learned a lot about Xcode, Swift, and SwiftUI, just to create the paging interface of your app. Armed with your list of what your user sees, you'll create the views of your hit-fit prototype in the next two chapters. Hot dog. Okay. Chapter 3. Prototyping the main view. Let's take a 5-minute break. 5-minute break. Oops. Or we'll call it 7 minutes. BRB at, let's see, let's just call it 210. 210p CST. No, plus. Oh, there we go. All right, be right back. Hooty-hoo. Okay, we back. Ah. All right, brother. How long we been at it? Only an hour and a half. Only an hour and a half. Okay. Not good enough. Not for today. All right, so let's go back to reasonably sized font and chapter 3. Chapter 3. Prototyping the main view. Y'all like my book reading voice? Working on it. Now for the fun part. In this chapter, you'll start creating a prototype of your app, which has 4 full screen views, 4 of them. Welcome, exercise, history, and success. Okay, so 4 views. And they're full screen. Creating the exercise view. You'll start by laying out the exercise view because it contains the most subviews. Here's the list of what your user sees in this view. A title and page numbers are at the top of the view and a history button is at the bottom. The page numbers indicate there are 4 numbered pages. God damn, my neck is stiff. The exercise view contains a video player, a timer, a start and done button, and rating symbols. And here's the list rewritten as a list of subviews. Okay. Header with page numbers, video player, timer, start done button, rating, and history button. You could sketch your screens in an app like Sketch or Figma before translating the designs into SwiftUI views, but SwiftUI makes it easy to lay out views directly in your project, so that is what you'll do. Yeah, wow, yeah, sounds like a terrible waste of time. The beauty of SwiftUI is it is declarative. You simply declare the views you want to display in the order you want them to appear. If you've created web pages, it is a similar experience. Indeed it is. Outlining the exercise view. Continue with your project from the previous chapter or open the project in this chapter's starter folder. Okay. Open exercise view. Okay. Ah, son of a gun. I did not. What just happened? Weird. Okay. So, okay. By the way, I don't know if y'all heard, but so Apple did their keynote or whatever thing, and we're finally, we as in those that suffer on Mac OS as I do with window navigation, we are finally getting native Windows-like snapping. So like this thing that I'm using right now to do this is a third-party app because the Apple version is trash and it has been for a long time. You gotta do this, go over the green button, wait a second, tile let. It's stupid. But now you're gonna be able to do this where I'm like dragging it or to the corner, you know. Which, you know, that's cool because I just paid for this app, but whatever. I'm glad, seriously glad it's gonna be native now, finally. That should solve a lot of pain, honestly. Yeah, because it's just dookie, bro. It's straight up. Sorry, Mac OS window management is just a dookie. That's why I was always wondering why everyone that I ever saw that had a Mac, it was always, you know, 3-finger swipe, left to right, full screen apps. You rarely see, you know, split screens. People with Macs using split screens. Now I think part of that's because, to be fair, the you know, the app switcher is really good. This is good. So I mean, if you like doing that, you know, that's cool. That works. But even still, you still don't see a lot of like split screened apps, especially on laptops since the screens are smaller. But whatever. Okay, so now back to it. Blah, blah, blah. What were we doing? I was trying to get exercise view placeholder. Declare. See, I'll start by laying out the iPad version. Okay, exercise view. Yeah. Hit fit. So selected iPad simulator. Okay, iPad mini. Let's just do, oh, the mini. Okay, iPad mini. I love the mini, by the way. I think it is just fantastic. I actually love both iPads. I have a Pro and a mini, and I use both quite a bit. I barely use my Mac. I only use it to talk to you guys on this stream, matter of fact. Otherwise, it's one of those two, but here we go. Yeah, I just so regret getting this 16 gig MacBook Pro. And I knew better. The one I had before was 32. That's fine. That would be plenty. But even this, like, it's not like it's not like it's horrific in terms of performance, but it's just annoying. Like my Windows machine and my Linux box both have 64 gigs, and that was like a pretty, I mean, relatively speaking, pretty cheap to upgrade and max those out. It's like maybe $300, max $400, and you can just max those out on RAM and never have to fucking worry about it again. For anything, you know, you might do as a personal project or just on your own machine. Yeah, so don't buy into that bullshit about, 16 gigs on Mac is like 32 on Windows. No, it's not. It's like 16 gigs of RAM. 16 gigs of RAM is like 16 gigs of RAM. That's the real answer. Okay, so are you done with that? Good. All right, now we want to run. Now we'll try to run it. And maybe I should, if it's choking on other stuff, I'll just close everything else. And you can get it too. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. But now what? Start by looking at the iPad version. We got that. Zoom to fit the iPad in the canvas. Let me bump that over just a hair. See how far off it is, though? It's like, why? Whatever. I'm going to quit bitching. Otherwise, I'll just keep going. Okay, zoom to fit. Okay, we got that. Now what? Exercise view has 6 subviews. So duplicate the text, exercise names, index view, then edit the arguments, and then edit the arguments in the code or in the canvas to create this list. Okay. In the exercise names index. Oh, in addition to it. Okay. Yeah, so duplicate the text, exercise names, index view. Has 6. So video player, video player, and timer, start, start done, button, text, rating, and text. Damn it, history button. And then if we, let's see, V, Y, K, V, why are my shortcuts not, I guess because I got this thing open. Already forgot what it was though. God damn it. How do I close this again? Command Option Enter. I didn't notice that till now, but it's not showing me my... Oh, I probably have to stop it, don't I? So stop that. And... Okay, now they're back, yeah. Okay, V for visual mode. Where is... Oh, 0. And then up. And insert mode. Left bracket. Oh yeah, brother. Okay, cool. And then wait, no, I didn't do it. Okay, let's try it again. So they showed us if you highlight everything and then just enter your delimiter, it should wrap it for you. So that's what I'm trying to do. So I can get in the habit of doing that. $0 to select it. Go down. And oh my God. We're gonna get it, and I'm not, it's personal now. V. Okay. Insert mode. Left brace. Okay, now it worked. Whew. All right. V stack. Okay. Xcode tip. You could create these 6 text views, then do the curly brace auto completion trick. Oh yeah, that's what I did. Another way is to embed the single text view in a VStack. Another way is to embed the single text view in a VStack. Command click text and select embed in VStack from the menu. And then duplicate and edit your views. Embed in only works on a single line of code. So they're saying I can do command click. I don't remember editing my defaults at all, but for some reason for me it is it's not command click, it's bro, okay, I gotta turn you off. I swear Apple, like, this app has worked forever, and suddenly they announced their own feature like this, and then all the third-party apps suddenly start fucking up. Dog eat dog, I tell you. Okay, anyway, mine is control click. So they're saying you can do this as well. You just pick a symbol, in this case, text. So I just control click on text and then embed in, where is that at? That didn't work. Maybe the whole thing. Why isn't it not working? Whatever, I don't know. Now it's not working. It was there at one time, but now it's not there. Maybe it's context sensitive. I don't know, since I already have a VStack, but whatever. We did it this way. Seemed to work just fine. But either way, the output would be the same. All right, so creating the header view. Skills you'll learn in this section. Modifying views, method signatures, SF symbols. Ooh, actually, you know what might help for, whatever, fuck it. But Jared, put a note down. If we use the overlays to put the content on the screen, see if what's it called, LumaFusion can, parse those up for us, like in the editor. That would be a good use of AI. That would be very helpful. So yeah, I've been trying to think of a good, if y'all know of anything, let me know, but I've been trying to think of a good either software, or I was thinking maybe those, you know, those little stream, they're just little panels that have just a bunch of buttons and you can map them to commands or scripts. But basically just need a way to mark something in the video as like, okay, this is the start of this, you know, just to create easier pockets of content so that when I go edit them, I can easily create the edited video and I don't have to like literally rewatch the whole stream, which is pretty brutal. Where did, where did we, okay, creating the header view. Yeah. All right, the first text view is the starting point for the header view. So here, okay. The first text view is the starting point for the header view. You'll add code to it here in exercise view. Is that where we are? It is, that's where we are. Here in exercise view. Then you'll extract this code as a subview and move it to its own file. To prepare for later extraction, use the command click menu to embed the first text view in a VStack. Yeah, it's just not working for me, man. I don't know what you want me to do. Maybe it's in this. No, nope. Oh, it's just not going to work. All right, but you want me to wrap this to embed the first text view in a VStack. VStack. And Control E. Okay. Now this text view is in a VStack nested in the top level VStack. Yes. VStack, VStack text, exercise names, index. That's what I got. All right. The many ways to modify a view. Open the attributes inspector, which is on the right-hand side. This guy. Yep. There it is right there. Wait, no. That is not it. You got to click something relevant. Why isn't it popping up? Here, view. Open the attribute inspector, press Option Command 4, or click the inspectors button in the toolbar. The inspectors button. Let's just go with Command Option 4. Does nothing. Do I need to select the file? Maybe that's why. Project view. Exercise view. And 4. Okay. Oh, is this why? Because I wasn't running. That might be why. Automatic iPad Pro. Okay, I mean, that's definitely not what I picked. So iPad mini, hold on. Preparing iPad sim for previews. Okay, great. There we go. Okay. Now, what do you want me to do? On squat. Select squat. Oops. Okay. Squat. And now I should have hot dog. All right, there we go. So I just wasn't running my simulator. Or the preview wasn't running. Makes sense. All right, so the many ways to modify a view. Open the attributes inspector, press Option Command 4, or click the inspectors button in the toolbar. Wait, so if I don't I can just call this direct. So Option Command 4, that would be easier. Oh, hot dog. Okay. Yeah. The inspector has sections for the most commonly used modifiers: accessibility, font, padding, and frame. You could select a font size from the font menu, but you'll use the search field this time. This is a more general approach to adding modifiers. Click in the add modifier field, which is right here, and type font. Then select font. Then select font from the menu. Okay, font. See what I mean? Like, when did the... I don't know what happened. Used to be so good. The font size of squat changes in both the canvas and in the code. It did. Now there was a... Oh, maybe that's why it wasn't working earlier. I'm trying to remember how to get the... There's a quick menu to get to the variables or attribute inspector. So if I type... Was it control? Oh, I think that's why it wasn't working earlier. I wasn't running the simulator. So that's why it wasn't showing me. Because now it's there. Yeah, embed. Yeah, my bad. My bad, Tim. Your shit works, not my brain. Okay, so then size of squat changes in both the canvas and the code. Indeed it did. How? Damn it, how did I already forget that? See, this is why I should have just got more RAM, because now I'm hesitating to open the browser at the same time. Like, I hate that kind of shit. It's so unnecessary. Should have just spent the damn money. Yeah, but either way. So, how to Xcode quick inspector menu. No, not that. Not that either. Yeah, dang it. Okay, then we'll ask Gemini. Xcode shortcut to show attributes inspector in pop-up. Wait, that was it? That's not it. Command option 4. Yeah, that's not the answer. Therein lies the rub with AI. It just says it so confidently. Yeah, here it is, brother. That's not the right one, man. No, it's not the pop-up. That is the side panel. That is for the side panel, not the pop-up. Show the size, connections. Yeah. That's not the answer. Settings. Attributes. Inspector. Oh my gosh. There you go. Jesus. Okay. Okay, I don't know what the keys are, but you can just right click and then open it up that way. So that is much better. Then I don't have to expand the bar, yada yada. Okay, so, and then you get the same menu from here. Yeesh. All right, so the font, we did that. Squat changes both canvas and code. Yeah. All right, putting the modifier on its own line is a SwiftUI convention, meaning the font on its own line. SwiftUI convention, a view often has several modifiers, each on its own line. This makes it easy to move a modifier up or down because sometimes the order makes a difference. Yeah. Xcode suggests the font size title, but this is only a placeholder. To accept this value, click .title and then press return. I guess insert mode, there we go. Then press return. Xcode and SwiftUI auto suggestions and default options are often what you want. Okay. To see other options, Control Option click font or title. Font or title. Oh, now it shows you. So that's the Control Option. Yeah. I hate that shortcut, honestly. Control Option and then click. Talk about contortion. Okay. Maybe it's time. Wait, what is, oh, hold on. I got a keyboard config issue here. So this, okay, this is backticks. I think I'm just gonna move my control button over there. Control here. And ticks there. Okay, so now I can do Control Tab. Control Tab. And backtick. Okay. And what is that? Control also. Okay, good. Control. Now at least I can do this with some comfort. Okay. All right, that's better. All right. And click. I guess that doesn't work in visual mode. Vim mode is kind of pissing me off today. Why isn't it? Control Option click. There we go. Okay. Okay, to see other options, yeah, font or title, this opens the fonts modifier pop-up attribute inspector. In the font section, click the selected font option title to see the font menu. Okay, select large title from the menu. Large title. Okay. Squat is even bigger now. It is. Here's another way to see the font menu. Replace .large title with, where'd the damn sun go? It just went completely away. Here's another way to see the font menu. Replace .large title with a dot. .font . Yeah, I mean, that's a lot more preferable to all that other stuff we just did. Definitely. Okay, where did large title go? Up at the top. Once you're familiar with SwiftUI modifiers, you might prefer to just type delete.font.large title and type.font. Press the right arrow key to see the second font method. Okay. Wait, so what is it? To see the second method. Oh, it's expanding it. Okay, I see. So font. Oh, for an optional. Okay, so this one is both are anonymous parameters, hence the underbar, leading underbar ahead of font. But this one takes an optional font type. Oh wait, so does this one, but this one is a text view. This one returns a view. So this returns text, this returns view. Okay. Where's the dang thing? To see the second method. All right. Select either method and Xcode autocompletes with a font optional. Okay, so you want me to use that one. But it didn't. Select other method, autocompletes, font, placeholder, changes to large title. Okay. Swift tip. The method signature func font. So basically what we were just looking at. They're talking about this here. The method signature func font. Oh, sorry, this one, the one that returns text. Yeah. The method signature func font argument of font optional returns text, indicates this method takes one parameter of type optional font and returns a text view. The underbar means there's no external oh, okay, that's, yeah, the stuff I was just blurting out. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. A lot of this stuff we've already covered. So I'm reading this for the first time, so apologies for any redundancy, but yeah, like I said, we're probably going to not get past that kind of stuff until a few chapters in. Creating page numbers with SF symbols. Oh yeah, I forgot about it. They showed us that pretty neat little app. SF symbols. All these free, nice little vector graphic symbols that you can use in your app. The only caveat was that you basically can't mimic or just don't try to look like Apple at all whatsoever, or any of their logos or any of their marketing, and you'll be fine, and you can use them otherwise. But yeah, this is a pretty cool little resource. They have all kinds of stuff: fitness, nature, editing, accessibility, automotive, transportation, connectivity, gaming, devices, objects, tools, weather, maps, peas, greens, potatoes, tomatoes. Okay, but all right, so SF symbols. Create page numbers with SF symbols. In addition to the name of the exercise, the header should display the page numbers with the current page number highlighted. Let me get back to, yeah. With the current page number highlighted. You could just display text 1, text 2, and so on, but Apple provides a wealth of configurable icons as SF symbols. Funny enough, SF standing for San Francisco. So very, very literal. The SF Symbols app is the best way to browse and explore the collection. Download it from this website. We already did that. After installing it and open it, select the indices category. Indices. Plow. And now it's raining. Cats and dogs. Page number. Then scroll more than halfway down to the numbers. Okay. Okay. There are black numbers on a white background and vice versa in a circle or a square. The fill version could represent the current page with no fill numbers. For the other pages, you can copy SF symbol names from the app with Shift Command C. However, there's an easier way. If you know part of the symbol name you want, oh, that's the end of the sentence. If you know the symbol name you want. In the code editor, add this line below the title text view in the nested VStack. All right, in the nested VStack. Below the title text view in the nested VStack. Oh, whoops. Image, system name. Image is another built-in SwiftUI view, and it has an initializer that takes an SF symbol name as a string. Position the cursor between the quotation marks, then open the library. Click the plus button in the toolbar or press Command-Shift-L. Okay, good. Command-Shift-L. I covered up my book there, guy. Select the Symbols tab and search for the one circle. Symbols tab. Select the one circle. Why would you show this stuff ahead of what I'm literally typing? I'm telling you, something broke in Apple search. It used to be easily its best feature across all the platforms, but whatever. Okay, one circle. By default, the library disappears as soon as you click somewhere else. If you want it to stay open, hold down the Option key while you open it. Okay. Now double click one dot circle. The symbol name appears at the cursor location. Double click. Okay, cool. All right. Shift Command L. Highlight that. I always think I'll remember it, and then sure enough. Now double click one dot circle and okay, I did that. Bad. Escape. Before adding more numbers, embed this image in an H stack so that the numbers will appear side by side. Then duplicate and edit more image views to create the other three numbers. Embed this image in an H stack. Okay. So if I select this and control, oh shit, I forgot I changed it. Okay, let's try that again. Control click. Embed in H stack. Okay. Image system name. God dang it. 2. Dot circle. Oops, that's not the one I want. System name. 3 dot circle. And one more is 4 dot circle. And then we want a modifier on these on the H stack. So dot phonet dot title 2. Okay. The font size applies to all views in the H stack. You can modify an image to override the H stack modifier. For example, modify the first number to make it extra large. Right, so we learned that this is an example of how you can negate the default cascading effect. So parents will always send their modifiers down over all the children. So since this H stack wraps each of these image views, it's applying this modifier to all of them. But similar to CSS, if you ever worked with that, if you give the child its own modifier of the same name, then it will supersede it in the hierarchy and use the child's modifier instead. So large title. So that's cool. I mean, that's a really simple way to do it to just one. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's hard to beat how the browser does it. It's just a lot of good standards there. Okay, now the first symbol is larger. Indeed it is. All right, delete the image font modifier. So all the numbers are the... Okay, undo what I just did. Okay, got it. Okay. Your exercise view now has a header, which you'll reuse in welcome view. So you're about to extract the header code to create a header view. Your exercise view now has a header. Oh, squat. Okay, gotcha. Extracting a subview. Command click the V stack containing the title text and the page numbers. Containing the what? The title text and the page numbers. Oh, whoops, not command. For me, it's control. Control. Ah, that's the wrong one. This one. Control and what? Extract subview. What did it just do? Xcode moves the whole VStack into the body property of a new view with the placeholder name extracted view. Oh snap! Okay, created this whole thing. Sure did. Well, let me see it again. Let's see it again. I like that. That's pretty cool. Extract subview. Okay. And extracted view is where VStack used to be. All right. Okay, so Payal, extract subview. Okay. Let's see. If the placeholders are highlighted, type header view and press return. They are not. If not, select extracted view and right click. Right click. Choose refactor rename from the menu. Type header view to replace both placeholders at once, then click rename. What? Type header view to replace both placeholders at once. And then, oh, okay. All right. So rename or refactor rename. Header view. And so that oh, okay, it did header view and header view. All right. Adding a parameter. The error flag in header view shows where you need a parameter. The index property is local to exercise view, so you can't use it in header view. The index property is local to exercise view. Okay, so it's, yeah, it's inside the... Oh, I see, right. Because we split the type. It's not an instance, it's another type. Okay. Okay. The error flag in header view shows where you need a parameter. The index property is local to exercise view, so you can't use it in header view. You could pass index to header view and ensure it can access the exercise names array, but it is always better to pass just enough information. This makes it easier to set up the preview for header view. Right now, header view needs only the exercise name. Add this property to header view above the body property. All right. Let exercise name. So we're defining a constant called exercise name of type string with no initial value. And replace exercise names index in the text view. So now we're not doing, we're not rendering the entire array. We're just saying this is now a text view of the local, newly created local variable exercise name. Okay. Scroll up to exercise view. Oops. Scroll up. G. Oh, G. And exercise view. Where Xcode is complaining about a missing argument in header view, click the error icon to click fix, then complete the line to read. Okay. Exercise name, fix, yeah, hot dog. And now we're giving it the fucking, damn it. I'll get used to them eventually. I'm convinced the Vim shortcuts will be a benefit to learn in the long run. So suffer we will. Okay, so now we're giving it, now we're giving header view the array of exercise names. Oops. Index. All right, sweet. Okay. Moving a subview to a new file. Now press Command N and create a new SwiftUI view file and name it header view. All right. Header view. Header view. Because you were in exercise.swift, when you press Command N, the new file appears below it and in the same group folder. Your new file opens in the editor with 2 error flags. Invalid redeclaration. Am I looking at the header view? Why is all this? Come on, we get it. Like, Jesus. Now it does say you can use the source code as long as you don't try to go sell it or whatever. So, and we're not trying to do that. So I'm not doing nothing shady, bro. Relax. I'm just saying it's a lot of wasted space up there. Just put it in the README. Goddamn. All right. So select preview layout. Where are we? Oh, we're looking at the 2 errors. Yeah. Okay. So this is the new file, invalid redeclaration. Makes sense because in Swift, there's basically automatic importing. So it can see your other source code, which is why it's giving us that error. So it's not like Go. Like in Go, you had to explicitly import from your other source files if you wanted to share code across. But this is more like the JS frameworks, that just do all that shit in the background for you. Hopefully not at a penalty. But anyway, you pass. Where are we at? Missing argument. To fix the first in exercise Swift, select all 17 lines of your new header view structure. Press Command X to cut it. Okay, so we're literally bringing it over here. Okay. Header view. What is cut in Vim? Yank? No, it's not. Is there cut? Oh, X. That makes sense. All right. Boilerplate back in that. Okay, yeah. And replace this VKKKK P. Yeah. All right. And what is this here? To fix the second error in previews, let Xcode add the missing parameter, then enter any exercise name for the argument. Oh, okay. Right on, brother. All right. Exercise name. Squat. Because you pass only the exercise name to header view, the preview doesn't need access to the exercise names array. Because you pass only the exercise name, the preview doesn't need access to the... Okay. Okay, so there's no connection yet. We're just mimicking. I mean, I guess that makes sense. We're building up to it, but there's no connection yet between these two. No programmatic connection, but okay, so working with previews. SwiftUI previews can do a lot more than what you've seen so far. Now, really, layout, size that fits. The preview Still uses the iPad simulator, which takes up a lot of space. You can modify the preview to show only the header. In header preview, or in header view underbar previews, Control Option click header view, then type preview in the add modifier field. Yeah, this book is not that old. It was published last year. But it's just crazy how fast stuff changes. So now apparently this this hash preview thing you see has replaced this old style header view previews type, like this thing. At least that's how they show it in the book, but I'm not sure what you're asking me to do then. Working layout side of the preview, so use iPad simulator, take a lot of space. Control click, Control Option click. Add modifier. View layout. Size that fits. Okay, that's what I got. Okay. Nothing changed. What happened? The placeholder value, size that fits, is what you want, but you must accept it. Accept you, brother. Accept it. Okay, size it fits. Press return. Switch to selectable mode. Okay, I am in selectable mode. Blue arrow. And zoom to 100% to just see the header. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, there we go. I guess you just click the one. What does this do? Oh, the whole thing. And that's helpful. Yeah, that's cool. All right, now what? See just the header. A small view makes it easier to see some of the possibilities of previews. Variants. Click the variants button next to selectable and select color scheme variants. So this little honeycomb looking button, color scheme variants. Also cool. All right, see what you get with dynamic type variants. Yeah, sure, brother. All right, so dynamic. Okay. iOS device users can set a preferred text size in settings, display, and brightness text size from extra small to fit more on screen up to large. Oh, I see. Oh, that. Oh, yeah. Man, they thought of everything. Okay, accessibility, display, and text size. Larger text goes to size 5. Yeah, I keep mine on small. I'm one of those. I like to look real, real close to it. Your app supports these settings by using semantic font sizes like Title 2 instead of a fixed value like 36 points. By using semantic font sizes like Title 2 instead of... Oh, I see. So they can just scale it for you based off the resolution of the device. Dynamic type variants show how this view appears for different text size settings, enabling you to adapt your layout so important elements remain readable. Damn, so what? Wait, so you gotta... That's a lot of different views. Mine's definitely... My app will just have a disclaimer. You gotta use it in the small. Smallest text landscape. How about that? Dynamic type variants show you how this view appears for different text size settings, enabling you to adapt your layout so important elements remain readable. Yeah, that's wild. I never considered that. You poor bastards. I guess I'll be one of them soon, but you know, they didn't have these tools back in the day, so man, blessings going out for all the iOS devs that wrote in Objective-C and storyboards. God damn. Never knew how y'all were suffering to get me some of my favorite apps, like Bear Notes. That's a fantastic app. Trying to think of, that's really been the one mainstay, well, outside of the browser, but and YouTube. Although YouTube on iPad has some serious resizing issues, so I can't really point at that as like a great example of how to do it. All right, anyway, dynamic type variants show you how, okay, yeah, we read that. Return to exercise Swift to see the orientation variants. Yeah, okay. I see. Okay. Versus, yeah. Return to, okay, we did that. And orientation variants. So back down in the menu, orientation. Yeah, that's cool. What a neat tool. All right. That's how easy it is to see how your views appear on a device with these settings. Click the live preview or selectable button to stop showing the variants. All right, selectable. It is also easy to select specific variants with this button. So this little toggly button. Oh, I see. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that way better. Okay. Creating the exercise structure. Skills you'll learn in this section: enumeration, computed property, extension, and static property. Ooh, those are some heavy hitters, brother. So these are all things that we covered in the initial stream going through the Swift language too. So I think that was episode 7 maybe. Actually, these would definitely be strung out. Yeah, enums and computed property would have been together around episode 7. Extensions and static properties probably 17, something like that. But yeah, if whatever we cover here doesn't make a lot of sense, you can always get more thorough examples played out from this stream, at least, if you go back and watch that initial Swift stream. Currently, your app uses 2 arrays of strings for the exercise and video file names. Your app uses 2 arrays of strings. Yeah, here. Okay. Actually, let me split these out because OCD going crazy. All right, there we go. So these 2 arrays, and what? This simple approach helped you pass just enough data to the extracted header view, keeping its previews manageable. But if you add more videos, you must manually ensure the strings match up across the 2 arrays. It is safer to encapsulate them as properties of a named type. Safer to encapsulate them as properties of a named type, like the preview sample data. First, you'll create an exercise structure with the properties you need. Then you'll create an array of exercise instances and loop over this array to create the exercise view pages of the tab view. All right, so create a new Swift file, SwiftUI. Oh no, just a Swift file. You can't tab through the files, okay. Swift file. And exercise, wait, no, up to now you've created and used SwiftUI views. This exercise structure models your app's data, encapsulating the exercise name and video name properties. It isn't a view, so you create it in a new Swift file. Yeah, okay. Exercise.swift. And the only difference between the two files, though, it gives you some boilerplate. But otherwise, they're the same thing. They're all .swift files, so one can easily become the other. Just so that's clear. Okay, name the file exercise.swift. Okay, we did that. Select the hit fit group. Yep, we did that by default. Just drag it out. Okay, I guess I can make sure it's not in the views. Oh, it is in the views. Okay, so drag it out. Hit fit. Okay. And add the following code below the import. Okay, so we're making a new struct. Exercise, let exercise name. So this will be a constant of type string. And another constant, video name, type string. And then a nested type, an enum, enumeration, exercise enum. And this will also be type string. And then our case statements. So case squat is equal to squat. Step up. Yeah, Swift's enums are probably, or not probably, at least in my limited experience, are the best enums out there, brother. The only other language I've come across that does everything that the Swift ones can do is Rust, which is saying something. So case burpee. C++ probably, I mean, it does everything. So sun salute. Sun salute. Okay. So there's all of our possible options for this enumeration: squat, step up, burpee, sun salute. And whenever these case statements get matched, we did learn that, so if we didn't have this text here, the compiler will automatically create a default value of the same name. So it would be the same as writing squat. But I suppose if you want specialized capitalization or whatever, then you can just do it this way and give it a default, an explicit default value for that case. Or I shouldn't even say default value, just a value of a string. Okay, enumerating exercise names. Enum is short for enumeration. A Swift enumeration is a named type and can have methods and computed properties. It's useful for grouping related values so the compiler can help you avoid mistakes like misspelling a string. Yeah. Swift tip. A stored property is one you declare with a type and or an initial value, like let name string or let name equal Audrey. Huh? A stored property is one you declare with a type or an initial value. Oh, okay. So technically these are both stored properties. This is, as are these case statements by that definition. That's not what the other book said though, so that's interesting. But either way, I don't think it affects behavior. and how they would interact. But a Swift enum is a, oh, I read that part. A computer property. It's useful for grouping related values so the compiler can help you avoid mistakes. And you declare a computed property with a type and a closure where you compute its value. Yeah, so something like would be a computed property, except name doesn't exist, but it's just that trailing closure syntax, which is the same here. It's just on more lines, but same thing. Here you create an enumeration for the 4 exercise names. The case names are camel case. Yeah, single word ones won't show it, but like step up, that's camel case. So it's the first word is lowercase, the second word is uppercase. Same here, salute. And single words are just lowercase. If you start typing exercise enum.sunsalute, Xcode will suggest the auto completion. Okay, because the enumeration has string type, you can specify a string as the raw value of each case. So terminology wise, to be very precise, these are considered raw values according to this. Here you specify the title case version of the exercise name, like sun salute for case sun salute. Yeah, so seemingly very similar, but we want a precise raw value, so we just define it here in a string. Yeah. Creating an array of exercise instances. Use your enum. I've heard people say it enum, and please stop doing that. That's just not what it is. It's not one of those, tomato. It's not one of those. Just stop. It's not enum. It just isn't. All right. Okay. Use your enumeration to create your exercises array. Below exercise, completely outside its braces, add this code. Oh shit. Okay, so here's an extension. Another very powerful feature. Static let. So static is the keyword that makes it a type property, which means that we can access the values in this property even in the absence of a instance of it. So we don't necessarily have to have an instance in memory to access the information on this type if we use this static keyword. So static let exercises equal no, I didn't mean to do that. Exercise. Exercise name. Yeah, that's what I want. Exercise. enum.squat. Raw value. I see, yeah. So this, if we just follow the dots left to right, so exercise enum gets us to the enum itself, and then squat gets us to the case, and then we specify that we want the raw value, and so that's how we get the actual capital SQAT instead of just squat. All right, video name is, oh, we just give it a, okay, squat. And why are these comma? Oh, this is an array. Okay, right. Makes sense. So, wait, how do I? Is it YYI down PP P? Okay. Okay, so each one of these, yeah. Step up. Step up and burpee. Oh, whoops. Sun salute. And burpee. And step up. Okay, that, oh, I'm missing my, there we are. All right, Swift tips. Type property, array literal, type expression. In an extension to exercise, so we're extensions let you add both properties and methods to, well, really anything. It works. They work on classes, they work on enums, and they work on structs and protocols. So yeah, so this is a way that we can add methods and properties everywhere that some particular type already exists. So in this case, exercise. Okay, and the only thing, so the only caveat we learned is that while you can extend properties, if you extend a property on a protocol, it does not transfer that requirement to the protocol. It will add access to the property, and you can use it anywhere that protocol is conformed to, but it will not enforce that property be a part of the actual concrete type that conforms. If you want that, you have to define it in the protocol itself, but probably makes no sense to most of y'all, but someday you'll be writing that code, you'll be like, oh yeah. And then my voice will echo in your brain. All right, so in a non-weird way, bro. In an extension to exercise, you initialize the exercise array as a type property. In an extension to exercise, okay, here, yeah. You initialize the exercises array here as a type property, which is as defined by this presence of the static keyword. Exercise name and video name are instance properties. Exercise name and video, oh, here, yeah, are instance properties. So each instance would have its own set of these constants. Yeah. Because we know that structs are copies. They're not reference types, they're value types. So these are going to have their own for each instance. Each exercise instance has its own values for these properties. A type property belongs to the type, and you declare it with the static keyword. So this whole thing is a single type property since it's an array. So the property itself is exercises. A type property belongs to the type, and you declare it with the static keyword. The exercises array doesn't belong to an exercise instance. Yep. There's only one exercises no matter how many exercise instances you create. Let me highlight this because I like how they're, grab that one too. I like how they're laying that out. Okay. It doesn't belong to an exercise instance, which would be, where are we using the, or maybe we're not yet. Okay, we're not yet. Okay. Table that for a sec. The exercises array doesn't belong to an exercise instance. There's only one exercises, meaning there's only one existence of this array of these exercises. You access it with the type name dot exercises. Okay. You create exercises with an array literal, which is a comma separated list of values, which is each of these 4 views. Enclosed in square brackets. Each value is an instance of exercise, supplying the raw value of an enumeration case and the corresponding video file name. Right, so in each case we know from here, we know what the exercise is, the raw value we want to display for it, and we also know the name of the corresponding video file, which would be in our directory over here somewhere. So that would just be stored assets, wherever you want to keep those. As the word suggests, an extension extends a named type. The starter project includes 2 extensions, date extension.swift. Okay, I see it. Good. And image extension Swift. See that too. All right. Date and image are built-in SwiftUI types. Okay. Thanks for that. But by creating an extension, you can add custom methods and computed or type properties. Yeah, I really, it's just pretty incredible to me because, actually, I'm going to ask that right now. I'm just curious if Go, because I mean, by no means was I a Golang expert, but that's the that's the only other general purpose programming language that I interacted with to any reasonable extent. JavaScript some. All the other stuff was just like tutorial stuff, but Go was the only thing I actually wrote programs in outside of SQL, like just pure SQL stuff. So yeah, I'm curious if does Golang have a Swift extensions equivalent? It has interfaces, but I never really dug into. Golang does not have a direct, well, both. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I didn't think they did, or that it did. All right, as the word suggests, an extension extends a named type. Oh, we read that. Exercise is your own custom type. So this entire is referring to this here. Is your own custom type. So why do you have an extension? Answer: it is housekeeping. You are keeping this task, initializing an array of exercise values, separate from the core definition of your structure, stored properties, and custom initializers. Yeah, because in this case, we're just using this to have sample data or some sort. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense to separate these out. Because I can see this list growing potentially. So your app grows, you add more types of workouts. You can manage it all in a single place as opposed to your core implementation. Exercise is your own. Oh, wait, I read that. Developers also use extensions to encapsulate the requirements for protocols. One for each protocol. Organizing code like this makes it easy to see where to add features or look for bugs. Yeah. Developers also use extensions to encapsulate the requirements for protocols. I'm going to resist going down that rabbit hole because we're not anywhere close to even having to deal with that yet, but that seems to be a little contentious with what we've already learned. So, but whatever, we'll get back to it. Matter of fact, I'm going to or BNR. Call inherit versus. It's probably just semantics, but all right. Refactoring content view and exercise view. Now you'll modify content view and exercise view to use your new exercise.exercises array. In content view.swift, replace the for each line with this. Content view. The for each line. Oh, okay. Okay. J. Wait, is that all one line? No, it's not. It's for each line. So V, J, D. Okay, and for each exercises.indices. So indices being an available method on arrays. So that's just good old plain Swift at work there. And then ID parameter is self. So whatever referring to just the object itself, whatever the instance is, self-referencing, kind of like JavaScript's this, I think. This or that, I forget what they use. Index in wait, what? How is that valid code? Wait. For each. Oh, okay. I see what it was trying to do. Let me go back. It wanted me to just edit this line. Yeah, okay, my bad. I see now. Okay. For each exercises.indices ID escape characters self-referencing. Now we're cooking. All right. Instead of the 0 through 4, let's see, that we had, so that, what do they call it, a partial? So this, instead of that, we've replaced it now. Instead of the 0 through 4, or sorry, 0 through less than 4, you use the exercises array. So here. And so that's just calling what we defined here. Or no, sorry, here in exercise. So the exercise is, we're just getting into the type. And then since this extends exercise, when we type exercise dot, we can get to exercises. And then indices is the method, and it just indexes the array of 4 exercise instances that we have. So that's how we're getting there. And you use the exercise array built-in range. Because the range is no longer fixed, you must provide an ID for each array element, which is that .self, so it knows which one to refer to. in exercise view.swift, delete video names and exercise names. The error flag tells you where you need to use exercise.exercises. Okay. In exercise view, get rid of these. And here. And so now we can just pass it exercises. Oh wait, that's not right. You could replace exercise names index with exercises index. What? But you'll need to use exercises index several times. This is a good reason to define a computed property. Okay, good. So we're not doing that. Exercise name. Exercise dot exercise name. So we replace our manually defined indexed array with this property now, and then we want to add the property var exercise. So this is a mutable variable. And we're saying it's of type exercise, giving it access to the extension, that static property, and now a god damn it, what is going on? Okay, now a trailing closure to compute whatever the value should be that goes into the bucket exercise, which is exercise.exercises, and we want the index. And that should make the errors go away. It did. Okay. Live preview, content view to check everything still works. All right, live preview. Let me see. Zoom out a little bit. Well, I mean, it runs, but there's no tabbing or anything. So, okay. But that looks like what they got, so that's good enough. All right, playing a video. Skills you'll learn in this section. Actually, matter of fact, I do need to... Looks like it quit raining. Yeah, I think we'll call it there for today, folks. Yeah, I need to go get a workout in too, brother. I got so much gas in the tank. So I'd like to thank you folks for coming out today. Please drop a follow, support the movement. I'm just kidding. I don't think of it that way, but do drop a follow on whatever platform you happen to be watching on. And if I can convince you to, here's my pitch. You ready for it? Go follow me on X. That's it. That's all I want you to do. Because I mean, I'm on YouTube, obviously. I'm trying to stay away from it though, because I just don't like all the censorship, and I hate to invest so much time into something and to think, because you hear these horror stories about people just kind of bullshitting, and then here comes the YouTube ban hammer. So anyway, that's my only ask. Follow me on X, but happy to have viewers on any platform. Thanks for coming out. Also, don't forget, check out my other stream, Sweaty Ranked Halo, every day, unless said otherwise, at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time for episode, I forgot, which one is it, Jared? 52, something like that, yeah. But we'll continue from this very same spot tomorrow. Bye, guys. Take care of yourself.